Hello again, and now I am going to show you this amazing quilt behind me. This is my heart quilt, and can you believe I made this all from my stash? So you know all those lovely bits of fabric that we buy because we can't resist? They're all in this quilt. These are all from my personal stash. Loved them, put them all together. Trick with this is all the dark tones are facing upwards in a heart shape and all the light tones are facing down. How do we make the hearts, I hear you say? So this is how this is how we do it. We're using the 2.5 inch jewel template from Daisy and Grace. And what you initially need to do is cut one large jewel, which is the backing, which comes forward to become the binding. You're going to cut one in wadding and one in the main fabric. Now, a lot of you have asked me what sort of wadding I use. I use a wadding called 80/20, which I know Hochanda stock, so if you need some, check that out on the website. So this is how we go about making our jewel. So we're going to take our large jewel and place it right sides down so that the wrong side is facing us. Then I am going to put the template on top, make sure it's positioned properly onto the template, and then because we've got this recess, this is where we put our wadding into. And can you see, look at that, just fits snug as a bug in a rug. Perfect. And then we're going to, till I knock it, and then I'm going to move it back. See, it's easy to put back in place. And then I'm going to take the inner jewel and place that on top. Now, I've just got to get my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to take a couple of pins and just position, keep that in position. If you move it, it's worth putting the template back on and getting it just right because your bindings won't be equal. Take the template back off, so let's put that aside. And then I'm going to take my jewel, and I always start from this edge, but you will find a knack of how you like to do it. So the first thing we're going to do is fold that edge to meet the the edge of the center jewel. And I'm just going to press that with my fingers like that. Then I'm going to roll it again, like that, and it goes over the top, and this has created our binding. I'm going to put a couple of pins in this, like so. Then I'm going to start on this edge here. So I'm going to turn it again so it's towards me, and this bit I'm just going to finger press that bit down again, and then we're going to do this long edge. Now this long edge is a bit longer, so it's a bit more complicated. Just moving that fabric into to the edge of that jewel, finger pressing, and then as if by magic, if I get my fingers out of the way and I point with my scissors, this creates a mitre here without you doing anything because it's been placed centrally. The bindings are all equal, and so then I'm just going to roll those over and pin in place. Now when I'm going to do this by machine, I give this a press and then sew by machine. If I'm going to do it by hand, I just start sewing. You don't need to. And the beauty of quilt as you go is you can do it either by machine or by hand. So I'm going to put that one aside. And as by magic, I have one I prepared earlier. So as you can see, I've machine stitched along here and along to that point here at the end. I haven't gone off the edge, I've just stopped where this fabric finishes here. So I'm going to do the next edge. So I'm going to turn it towards myself again. And then it's this long edge. I'm going to fold over and press down. On this edge, I'm just going to pop a pin halfway, as I've double turned the binding, I'll put a pin halfway just to secure that, because I'm coming back to this end. Now if I fold that over and I'll just pop a pin there so that I can show you this end sticks out. We don't want that. We don't want this little towel. We need to poke that inside. And a nice way to do that is just to fold the fabric back on itself so it lines up with this edge here. Finger press it. Then when you remove it, you've got that press line, and then you can just tuck it in. I'm going to take that pin out there and I'm just going to pin that in place there. Then I'm going to start pinning my binding, and I'm going to get to this bottom edge. And again, I'm going to just give that a little bit of a press with my finger, and then I'm going to fold over this second edge. And I'm not going to go all the way round, so I'm going to just finger press that there, and then double turn that like that. Oop. Fingers all in the way, pin that in that mitre and pin that there. I'm going to just steal that pin from inside there because we don't need that in there now, it's all quite secure. And again, hand, I don't bother pressing, I just carry on sewing. But if I do that by machine, I give that a quick press. As by magic, here is one I prepared earlier. So you can see I've stitched along here, along there, but I've stopped again where that line of the fabric is here. Now this is the final edge, and what I do is I turn that over and turn it again, pin it and sew it like that. So there, and then hey presto, I've got two that I've made earlier, two jewels. To join them, you're going to put them like that to create a heart. And here is one I've completed, and I've zigzagged down the centre because I've done it by machine. So this is my finished heart. Isn't it cute? Made out from scraps. This is my quilt. I hope you've enjoyed it. See you soon.